Grand Central is fine. Hi, good evening. Apparently, Dennis wanted me to do.
We're all going to take it. We're all going to get a shot.
Oh, we're going to get a shot.
It's going to be a rotating thing.
So what? You're next week, right?
I think I'm sick. Oh.
And supposedly, according to Drew, we are live tonight, right?
Yes. So you can call in. No excuses.
We know all 5 of you out there. So please call in and give us your opinions. I know.
You know what I heard? I heard John Sadai watches this show religiously.
Really?
Yes.
Even when we're not on?
Even when we're not on. He'll sit in front of the TV and go, look, they're so quiet.
I don't know if he does or not. He's the only decent one, I think, in this town on the city council. I think the only one with half a brain.
I know he's a friggin' workaholic, man. That guy is always working, doing something.
So, anyway, I have issues, which we always do. I don't know if you wanted to start.
No,
you want to start?
You start.
No.
You want me to start? Okay.
You do your first story.
The one issue that I wanted to bring up, which I thought this was interesting, because it was in the paper yesterday or 2 days ago, about this woman who lives in New London, who paid $50 to some people, I guess teens, to beat up her daughter, because her daughter apparently was not behaving or something. And I just want to know, this is not typical, of course, but I want to know is if she was married, or does she have a spouse?
Who? The wife?
The woman.
The mother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, because there are so many, so typical with these single women now. She's older, but the ones caregivers I've seen, they're all young. They all have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. Don't know necessarily who the father is. And they're milking the state for everything they can get. And I thought the state was supposed to be 2 kids and that's it. Of course, it's not.
I never heard that.
Years ago, I heard it.
Oh.
But it just gets me riled up, because mostly these single mothers, they're not necessarily stupid. The elevator definitely doesn't go to the top floor. And you can criticize me all you want. Criticize me all you want, but I don't call them mothers. You don't know who the father is? You sleep with all these people? You know what you are? You're a whore. Whether you like it or not, ladies.
Well, what if they're not sleeping with everybody? What if they just thought they were in love and the guy just dumped them when they found out that? Well, that happens.
Come on, Dennis. Are we that ignorant?
It does happen.
I dumped them. I got what I wanted. I got the
See,
kids.
that's the whole problem.
Get out.
If this country wanted to do something to benefit the whole country, just the ones that actually live here, not the newcomers that are called migrants, that are really illegal immigrants, a name don't change what the thing is. But if, I forgot where I was going.
So where were people before this happened? She must have told somebody, I want to pay you guys $50 and I want you to beat up my daughter. Not only should she be in jail, probably for the rest of her life.
Girl should be definitely taken away from the
Absolutely. And then those kids who beat her up, I mean, it's the same thing with these kids, the protesters. A lot of these protesters that you hear on the radio, are ignorant. They have no idea what they're talking about.
The college students.
These college students, the professors.
Some aren't even college students.
The professors are.
Majority of them aren't college students.
The professors are indoctrinating them into hating Israel, hating the Jews, and these kids don't even know maybe what's going on. It's like mice following the what was that?
Pied Piper.
Pied Piper. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these kids have been arrested. Where are the parents?
Okay, first of all, they get arrested, right? then what happens to them?
Usually they get logged in and then they get sent back out. But not all.
That's the problem.
Well, not all. Not all. Some of them are still in jail from what I heard tonight. But where
bet
are
it
the,
wasn't
where
any
are the
other
parents?
student.
Because these schools aren't cheap.
No.
Now, if that was my kid, one, I would have called the kid up and said, you will not do this. You do this, you're paying for college by yourself. Two, you can either stay in your room or you can come home. But if you go out there and I find out you're in that, you're protesting, you're done.
You know, it boggles my mind because these colleges, they get a lot of money from countries outside of this country.
Right. And the federal government.
And the federal government. Now, with the kind of money these colleges get, why do us taxpayers through the government have to send money to these schools? The one, Columbia, I guess, in New York, it gets over $1 billion from this country, and
right.
yet half the people in there are probably from other countries,
And they
probably
are.
countries that hate us, and
Well, a lot of the
they don't need
donors,
our friggin' money.
a lot of these alumni are not sending money right now back.
A lot
to
of them are stopped.
Oh, they've stopped.
The guy that owns the Patriots, he
Oh,
donated constantly.
Robert Kraft.
He says, that's it, I'm
he
done.
canceled it. I mean, if enough people would stop this, I mean, Yale's got something like, what is it, 20 billion in reserves?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I don't know how much Harvard gets, but I certainly wouldn't go to these schools, especially paying what you have to pay, probably close to $90,000 a year for a college education. A year? Come on, college has no business being
And what are
this.
they learning?
Nothing. Obviously,
And how can they have the nerve to go out there and say, death to America?
well, that's the other thing. If you say death to America,
You need to leave.
need to leave. That's treason.
Yeah, well,
They should be forced to leave this country. Okay, pick where you want to go. We're going to send you wherever you want to go.
no pick. We're going to send you. You know what England's doing?
Go-
You know what the UK's doing now
What?
with the illegals that are coming in? If they come in now, they take them and they put them on a plane and they send them to Rwanda in Africa.
Oh, good. Send them to
But you know
Venezuela.
what? It's not stopping the people from coming.
No,
I would have
Of
thought
course
it
not.
would.
I mean, but there is no way that if these kids, some of them have even denied that October 7th
Oh
happened.
yeah.
How can you be this stupid? A lot of them don't know about the Holocaust.
No,
I mean, they don't teach all this stuff anymore.
but like they were saying on a news show the other night, the way the system's set up now is the kids are being indoctrinated to go down this path in high school and junior high, and they go into college and they're already mindset, and then they get among all these freaking professors. Why are professors making the money they do in a college when they're only teaching what, a couple hours a day or something like that?
Yeah, it's
Okay, that's ridiculous. That's stupid on the college's point. Now, if a college had the nerve to come out and say, everybody that's a student here that is protesting, you as of now are no longer a member of the school. You will vacate this school. You will vacate your room and you're gonna have to start over somewhere else because you're not staying here.
well,
Immediately.
immediately.
But they don't do it because they think they're going to lose all this money. But how many kids in other colleges that want that kind of a college where they don't have to worry about that stuff, don't you think a lot of them kids would transfer here to that college?
I don't know.
Why?
Well, first of all, they're going to look and see, wait a minute, this college can't keep me safe.
No, I'm talking about get rid of all them people that make them so they can't feel safe.
Well, why aren't they arresting the people, the 63-year-old who's teaching them how to do all this?
Freedom
And
of
she's
speech.
going from school to school. They know that a lot of these people are in there are not college students. Why aren't they arresting
What do they
them?
call that they do when they
It's
take
a-
somebody else's
right.
and makes it theirs?
I mean, she's teaching them how to do this. And these kids, don't they even realize that they're supporting terrorism?
You know what? If Israel was smart, they're very smart, but I'm just saying for this particular idea, they should show the bodies of what these people did to these Israeli people. They should show the babies gutted, head chopped off, show the women laying there mutilated, rape, parts cut off. You know, this, we don't see none of that. And somebody should sneak it into every college and show it on a big screen so they can see
What they did?
see who started it and what they did to them people.
You
You
know-
don't hear nothing about the concert when they flew into
Oh,
the
but
concert.
then what did Biden just do today?
Biden's an asshole.
Oh, we know Biden's an asshole. He call him anything you want. He is a moron.
And it's not really him.
Yeah, I know it's Obama.
Yeah.
But he's not going to say. Congress approved to send the arms to Israel, and he said no.
He's not going to send them any kind of
The
equipment.
500 or 20. The point is, Congress approved it, and
Well,
he
he
could
can-
He can veto it, but they can go back and say, "We're passing this," and if it passes, they have to send it. But he said no. Why? Because I mean, Biden is this all-knowingly smart person who, I mean, he has done nothing right his whole presidency. Oh, he even said today, when he inherited the presidency, inflation was 9%. That's an outright lie. Inflation was
Everything he's-
1.4%.
Everything he says is a friggin'
He's a
lie.
liar. He's an idiot. His whole career in Congress, I mean, the people in Delaware obviously can't be bright. Not all of them. I know there are a lot of them that
Enough of
didn't.
them to vote for him, though.
Well, and they voted for him.
unfortunately.
Maybe they voted for him to get him out of the state. Who knows?
Probably.
But he keeps going back there every week. I mean, are these people? Do they have any brains? You know, and then my wife and I we drove down to Williamsburg 2 years ago for the holidays, and you pass through Delaware if you go on the coastal side because we didn't do 95 or anything. There was a truck in Delaware, and on the back of the truck he had a big sign that said F Biden, and my wife and I are laughing, and I said, "Why would anybody want to F Biden?" You know, we said we need to tell him that he should write F you Biden. But we passed him, we're going like this, and he's so happy and everything, and
I'm surprised nobody's stopped him. And
freedom of speech.
well, that doesn't hold true sometimes with what's going on in our world right now. Because if I was to say something very bad about Obama, or Biden,
We have already said it.
no, I mean worse than what we've ever said. And there is things that can be worse.
Everybody knows Obama's running. This is his third term. And I mean, was Susan Rice still there? Oh, God, man, talk about a first class.
I don't know much about her. I know what I've
She's
heard is
she's in there. But no, this country is in huge, huge trouble.
It is.
And I really don't think it's going to come back.
Yeah.
I think we're in big trouble.
See, the way I see it is Obama's running the show. He had all intentions of running the show. Biden doesn't really have a sense or grasp of what's happening. I mean, he's like in and out. Mrs. Biden, I think, is involved with the Obamas as far as what's going on.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
Now, he reads everything off a prompt. So they write everything for him. He reads it. But when he's on his own is when the Democrats are the scariest.
Or very scary.
Because they don't know what he's going to say.
Right. You know, and you know what
And the
it comes
only
also
reason,
right
and
down
even
to?
if Biden knows what's going on, he don't care.
No, he doesn't care.
Because he's making tons and tons of money, and he thinks he's going to walk away and retire and have all this money, and you know what's going to happen? Karma's going to get him, and he's going to not wake up one morning because...
Oh, you know what, we can only hope. But he's changing the border situation now that you can send them back after like a couple of days. You're going to find out that you don't qualify for asylum and everything. It's all these Chinese nationals that came in through San Diego and everything. China's not going to take them back.
I know. I don't doubt that. I always wondered what would happen.
Well, you know what? Pick a country, because that's where you're going. You can't stay in the United States. You're going to go back over the border to Mexico? Go right ahead.
I think we should send them to Antarctica.
To where?
Antarctica. You know, South Pole.
I know.
That's where we should send them.
Really?
Yeah. Give them a nice warm coat.
I don't think they have rice down there.
Well, they can learn.
That's, no,
Not just them, not just the Chinese.
No, it's everybody. You may not be for Trump. Okay, fine. How can you, in your right mind, be for Biden or any Democrat? And somebody in New York, Chuck Schumer is an embarrassment. I mean, to be called, I'm ashamed that he's calling himself a Jew. Because talk about being disrespectful. I mean, just, it's amazing that he even calls himself a Jew. Because he didn't really say anything about what happened in Israel. I think he said it once. But this man is an embarrassment to the country. There is so many, and all the ones who are, there are a lot of Republicans too, but they're an embarrassment to this country, and how they keep getting voted in is beyond me. Do you want to say anything?
No, I'm enjoying listening to you two.
Don't get used to that.
Why?
Because you're next week. What was I going to say? Oh, so I was asking Wendy this the other day. I said, okay, you see the shit hitting the fan.
Yeah.
You see what we got for leaders. They're all, a lot of them, at least the ones we see, are older than 60, 65.
Hey.
You're not a leader yet.
I'm older than 60 or 65.
But we all are.
But what I'm saying is,
or 70.
Yes.
What's going to
Almost
happen
70.
when all these old people that are running this country, that are richer than who knows what, they all start dropping dead? Who's going to step in? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, there are people waiting to step in, Dennis.
I know, but is it going to be another a different generation? It's got to be a different generation.
Well, definitely it's going to be a different job. I mean, you kidding? You think Chris Murphy wants to be a senator his whole life?
He sure ain't going to be a president.
Oh, he wants to be president.
Oh, Christ.
I really think he wants to be president. Dick Blumenthal isn't. Maybe, Dick...
Did I hear he was retiring? Blumenthal?
No, he's not going to retire.
The guy with no jet,
he
but his
should.
wife has one.
What does he need the money for? What does he need? He's got more money than God.
His wife has more money than God.
I think it's all in the family.
I wouldn't count on that.
But you've got Amy Klobuchar, who wants to be president. You got that, what's his name? That the homosexual guy who's running the...
Bagaluga or whatever.
What is his name? He wants to be president. He's worthless.
Buttigieg.
Huh?
Buttigieg.
He's worthless. Gavin Newsom wants to be president.
He's never going to get it.
I don't say never.
I'm telling you, he's never going to get it.
I'm telling you,
Not allowed to stay cheap.
This country is so damn stupid, they would put him there. And what he did to California, you think the Democrats don't care?
I don't know.
They won't care, Dennis.
Okay, but
as long as they get a Democrat in the office, they're not going to care.
Are they going to try to control Newsom like they do Biden?
Sure.
You think Obama's going to let Newsom do whatever he wants with the country?
No.
I don't think so.
No, Obama's going to tell Newsom this is...
I bet anything he'd shoot that idea down. And if he did become president, when you got a nut job in California, that's a senator, a congresswoman, whatever the hell she is, wants $50 an hour for a minimum wage in California.
Yeah.
And then they came out with a $20 an hour raise that really hurt small businesses. So now the people are going to vote him president, And what do you think's going to happen?
He's going to pass a law to say the whole country minimum wage is going to be $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Do you realize that? I mean, even if it was 20, and he said next year it's going to be 25 in California, there won't be any businesses in California.
No, especially I don't understand how you got all these mom and pop stores throughout all these towns and cities, even in California, and you got people that can't hop in a car and go to some supermarket, so they can't afford to pay that.
They go out of business.
Yeah. So if he ever became president and said, I want $50 an hour minimum wage, the loudest noise you're ever going to hear in this country is going to be slam, and that's going to be the doors of all the people that small pop.
And the other people are going to complain like, we have to travel like 30, 40 miles now to go shopping.
Yeah, but a lot of them are going to be out of work.
I know that.
So where are they going to go shopping for? They ain't going to have any money.
So
where are they going to get their money from?
Hopefully, they're going to be smart enough. A lot of them have, and they've left California. But you've got all these, Hollywood, they don't care. They've got all the money.
Yeah, but
because you got to remember, there was a thing in something about Streisand. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. They don't care. My son got us tickets to a Streisand concert in Brooklyn. And Streisand probably was the greatest singer of the 20th century. It could be argued that maybe she wasn't, but I thought she was. But this lady, we went to the concert. We had to wait until Bill and Hillary showed up. I could give a crap about Bill and Hillary. And then you go to a concert to hear the music, and then she's spewing all these stories about and going on against Trump and everything. I'm like, I felt like yelling out, I didn't come here to listen to your crap, lady. I came here to listen to your voice. But you can't say that because
they posted something about her. She's going to leave the country. You know how?
Who's Streisand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like she really would.
So I wrote back, well, get the hell out.
Hi.
Didn't Rosie O'Donnell say that last
they
when
all
Trump,
said it.
They
Not
all said it, but
anyone.
do they leave? Mm-hmm. And then you've got Maxine Waters still in California. That nut job.
Shit, I wanted to show you guys something, and I can't find it now.
I'm right here.
Oh, God, I hate it when you get these text messages, and then it's all crap. And if you don't answer it.
All right, I want to show you something real quick, guys. Okay. What? Look at
Robots. Yes, there was a thing on the news the other day, too, about robots. And they showed the robot the head was like oblong, round, but flat on both sides. On the floor, bending the body, getting straight up and everything. This is what's going to end up what we'll have, and you're going to wonder, people are going to wonder, I can't get a job. Because robots have taken over everything. This is going to be the Jetsons.
You know what part of the strike was in California when the actors and actresses went on strike? You know one of the reasons?
More money.
That wasn't the only reason. The other reason was because of AIs. I watched a commercial the other day.
Because of AI?
AI, the whole AI world thing. I watched a commercial the other day where it took me a minute to realize that the woman talking on the commercial wasn't, it was
Real?
a robot.
Well,
All right, so this is what the actors and actresses are afraid of. They're going to start using these robots because pretty soon they're going to be just like us. You ain't going to be able to tell the difference.
how about when Katy Perry, what was on this award show, the red carpet or something like that the other day? It wasn't her. AI created her.
Yeah.
And her mother didn't even know it.
Now, who can you sue for
I don't know.
misrepresent? You know what I mean.
Misrepresenting.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I mean, how do we know you're going to be in 3 or 4 different places. And
Oh, I got to tell you this now. I am a robot.
but okay, so we spewed off enough about that, and the lady.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, keep going. The
Okay.
lady about the child. I hope she doesn't get that child back. I hope she goes to jail. I hope the child is smart enough. We may not know that I miss my mommy. I hope she's not like that.
I don't. She shouldn't even be. In my day, if the state came and something like that happened, you'd be out of that house in seconds,
Right.
and you wouldn't be going back.
Right.
I know that.
That's why we honestly need to go back to the 50s, 60s, 70s when things were simpler, but people didn't do all this back then. Yeah, they did a whole bunch. We did a whole bunch. I mean, I never got in trouble because I just.
Oh, you're
My dad was
goody
no,
two-shoe
no,
boy.
it wasn't goody two. Believe me, my dad was a lot bigger and taller than I was, and I mean, one day I think I was 7 or 8, and I was so angry. I packed my bags, and my mother comes in. She goes, "You wait till your father comes home." Whoop! I'm back in unpacking. I was scared of my father. I mean,
Well, I was scared of my parents growing up too. Not because of
oh, we had good parents.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. It's just that you knew you were going to get in some kind of trouble, even if it wasn't your fault, and someone said it was. You were going to get in trouble.
I didn't.
Unfortunately, my brother, I'm
you're
a
the favorite.
twin, and my mother comes, "You wait till your father gets home," and he gets home, and we're all innocent. My brother and I are in our room, and she's yelling, "You go kill those kids." I felt so bad for my father. He comes to the room, and he had a big belt. And I guess he's getting ready to take out the belt, right? And my mother comes running, "You touch one hair on those kids. You just told me to kill them."
I want to get back to the robots for a second.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is just a quick summary of what I think is going to happen. You're going to have massive amounts of people out of work with no income. The only income they're going to have is possibly whatever the government wants to throw them.
This is socialism.
Yeah. Now, the country and businesses, big businesses would love this because they're not going to have to pay a salary.
Right.
They'll pay for the robot, and they'll probably get a deduction from the government because of it. So they don't have to pay any insurance. They don't have to pay any 401s. They don't have to do any of that stuff
Right.
anymore. Okay, so
Profits
with
are
that
gonna
in
go way
mind,
up. Get the stock now.
I've seen them pictures with the robots. Go on and look on your phone. I saw one the other day where the robot was in the ring with a boxer, and the boxer didn't stand a chance.
Really?
And then I saw one fighting 3 or 4 guys in karate stuff, right? Those guys didn't stand a chance. Because you're not going to hurt the robot, no matter how many times you kick him in the head. You're not going to hurt him. So with those thoughts in mind, these are some of the jobs I feel are going to become extinct. Warehouse working. Boxing or sports in general. Police. Dogs. What else did I have? I mean, there is places for it, but these are all jobs that are going to disappear. They already have robot dogs that police are using. I guess if they're made right, you can shoot them all damn night long if you're a criminal, and they're going to stop them. And when they bite you, they're going to have a lot more pressure than a regular dog. Same thing with police. This is all, in my world, is turning into the Terminator live. Coming to a city near you is what it is.
You're just like Jesse Walters, and This Is My World. That's a Dennis Downing, and This Is My World.
I try not to talk too much.
That's fine. No, you're doing fine.
All right, now
That's
you tell
great.
them.
Is there anything? So
Yeah, she's got something to
you've
say.
got something you told us before. We
I
went
did.
on. Yes, on the school
school kids.
situation.
Oh. What I tell
Let it
you?
rip.
What did I tell you?
About the homeless kids.
Oh, the homeless kids. Yeah, we heard the school says there's what?
300 something.
400
Yeah.
homeless kids in New London High. They're not homeless. the good majority of those kids live with relatives. They live in New London. For whatever reason, either the parents don't want them, the parents have sent them there, whatever, but they're not homeless. They live with a relative.
Because you're not supposed to, it's like,
So they're calling them homeless so they get more money.
Right.
and plus parents can send their kids, I don't know why New London, but if you want to send your kid to Waterford you're not supposed to be able to go to them schools unless it's set up a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
But a lot of people they'll give the address of one of their relatives in Waterford,
Right,
and then now they can go to Waterford.
When my wife was teaching, she said she had kids like that.
Well, I mean, when they were doing a couple years ago, they were interviewing the kids at the high school. How many of them were from other cities?
Other
Well,
cities.
we do get kids, from other towns.
Yes.
But we don't have the numbers that
No.
are supposed to be generating
Yeah.
all this money from the state for the
was
magnet
never-
school situation. I mean, that was a lie from the.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
Because common sense, see, people got to get back to common sense. Common sense would tell you if a school in Groton is losing money because their kids are going to
New
a
London.
school in New London, a magnet school, then the next thing, because remember they weren't going to build any other magnet, just New London. It was going to be the capital of magnet schools. So what do? Groton
They built the
built
magnet school.
itself a couple magnet schools and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So what we got now means absolutely nothing. A lot of people have forgotten that we had the bond, like $165 million for this whole magnet school project. That isn't what we were going to pay, but if we did everything the state wanted us to do within the schools, they would what's the word I want? Repay up to 80%.
Or finance, right.
So that means that city taxpayers were still on the hook for anywhere from $32 to $35 million. Now we're on the hook with the community center for 40, 50, 60 million
Yeah, and
dollars.
then when they said it was going to cost 30.
So-
Oh,
As I said, it was going to be for everybody.
Yeah, no.
Seniors
yeah,
aren't.
and that's not true.
It's not for the seniors.
Plus, it was going to be made out of quality materials, and now they had to scale it back to brick and mortar now, instead of the whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. They haven't. I've gone by there. You can't see anything because of the fencing all around.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah,
spots
but you can go in.
Oh, you can go in.
You have to make appointments, but you can go in.
But have they even started building?
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Christ, you have friggin' cement walls going up, steel
okay.
all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back down.
I told the mayor at a council meeting on the side, I said, when you were a kid, did you like playing with Tonka trucks? And he's looking at me now like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I said, seriously? He goes, I played with trucks. He goes, we all did. I said, yeah. I said, so why don't you set something up down there where, especially fathers and sons, sorry folks, and maybe some little girls, a place where they can go there during the day, sit on a bench, and the little kids can watch all this machinery building. He actually thought it was a good idea. But why don't they do something like that? I mean,
Welcome to New London.
Yeah.
New London is happening.
I'm glad you said that. I did find that piece of paper. Go ahead, keep talking.
I mean, come on, what a joke. What a joke.
Well, it's a joke
It's,
that's
you know,
coming to
and-
life.
And I am down on New London. Everybody knows it. But I live here too, and my wife says, you live here, you can't. Why can't they ever do anything right?
I think part of it is they don't think of what could go wrong. They get so wrapped up in all these wonderful things that they think is going to happen, and when it doesn't, they're not prepared. They don't.
Did
I
that
mean,
cruise ship come in yesterday?
Yeah, it's still down there.
Oh, it was like, I wanted to see, I didn't see a cruise.
It's not a big cruise
It's
ship.
not a big thing? I mean, so I would like to know all the people that went out of that
But
cruise
it's
ship.
something.
Huh?
But it's something.
It's something.
How
And
can I just do it?
have you ever been on a cruise? You don't get off that ship and somebody gives you a gift bag.
Well,
And that's what Barbara Neff was going to do. Oh, we're going to give gift bags. For what? Because they came to New London? Where did they go when they got off the ship? I would love to know. I mean, Mystic Aquarium, Essex train station, the casino, downtown
casino.
Mystic.
The casino.
How many
mostly.
people?
mostly the casino, probably.
How many people actually stayed in New London to look around?
Yeah, it's like when they go to the Coast Guard Academy. When it gets built, where are they going to go when they leave? Out of town.
Well, they may go to the Coast Guard. I mean, once the people go to the Coast Guard Academy once, that's going to be it.
Yeah.
That's the girl they beat up.
Oh, that's the girl?
Yeah.
Mom, aunt, and 10 kids charged with assaulting 13-year-old. Unbelievable.
But see that, now why, as much as the day holds back on stories so that New London looks like it's bigger than it is or more than it is, why would they put that in the paper?
Because it's news.
I know it.
They don't.
I know it, but you're thinking about moving here with your kids. You know nothing about the school system. And the first thing you pick up on a newspaper just to see what's happening in that town that you're thinking about going to, you see this story.
You know, my son's brother-in-law went to Conn College. He remembers all this. He keeps asking us every we go down to visit. And so, what's New London like now? I'm like, you don't want to know. You know, I mean, first of all, there's no way I would ever go to Conn College.
No.
It's overpriced.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what kind of jobs these kids are getting when they get out.
A lot of them ain't going to find jobs because a lot of companies are coming out and saying, I will not hire anybody from that school because of this protest and shit.
Oh,
if they find out
you're
that
saying now.
Yeah.
You're
oh,
saying,
what were you saying?
I'm just saying before. I mean, these kids are coming out with liberal arts degrees, and the world is not working around liberal arts degrees right
But
now.
at the time, it was a big thing.
Well, I mean, we still need teachers, and there are other UConn, Eastern have
Mitchell.
teaching programs and stuff much cheaper than Conn College.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would never go to Conn College. It's way overpriced. It's just like a lot of the other. I mean, a lot of my friends, we talked about when we went to school, we couldn't afford to go to our colleges today if we had to start over. Could never get in. Well, we could get in. We could never pay for it.
So I would like to know, folks, we jump all over the place here. So if you're looking for like a
We have no
one topic for an hour,
we-
you need to find something else to watch because that ain't going to happen here. So New London is where it's happening, right?
right.
You know, that slogan isn't just, that slogan probably costs money because now you got to change things and make it fit the title. Okay, so it's never cheap and it's never free. Do you know what the slogan is for state new tourism? Make it here.
Make it here. Make what?
I don't know.
Your business here. Make your product here. Make.
Probably all of that and above. Make it here.
How many people have been? It's official. State's new tour. Make it here. Really.
Yeah.
And Sikorsky is laying off 400 people.
And how many companies have left?
Why?
And a lot of these big stores are cutting back. Some of them are closing.
Well, look at the Crystal Mall. What a sham that is.
But like you just almost said, that's what I said when I first read this. Make it here. Make it what? What are you going to make here? You can't
Taxes.
even put...
You know, the taxes in Connecticut are really high.
Mm-hmm.
But so is Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah.
And New Jersey's got the highest. I mean, where did a lot of companies have gone south, which I don't blame them. They can pay less money in the South. The cost of living supposedly is less in the
And
South.
the yang-yangs they get up to move to these other places, the company itself, the breaks they get. We get breaks for any company that will come into New London or anybody that wants to build something, but it's probably nothing like...
In the paper today, that soapy car wash.
I never even heard of that.
They opened up Nobles, so
Yeah.
big thing. Well, that Noble's gas station that opened up at the exit of 75 in Waterford.
Yep.
Well, they just bought out the Rapid Car Wash.
Yeah.
And they're looking for more locations. They opened up 2 others recently. They're looking for more. One opened up in East Lyme on 161, modernizing car washes or something like. I mean, they're putting a lot of money into it. Obviously, they're making money, or they wouldn't stay in New England. But and if it's automated, they don't have to pay employees, or a lot of them. So
Yeah, it's like the one on the end of Coleman Street at Sully's gas station, that car wash. It's just one car wash. But
Oh, that's
you're right.
right.
All you do is,
you push a button.
yeah,
What do you want? Car, wax,
put your
wash,
money
wax?
in, go in, the doors will come down.
So yeah,
Make sure you don't have anything in the back of your truck when you do.
Right.
You'll wipe out the friggin' machine. So I got a question for you, Doc, because he's probably the closest thing to Doc we have here. Zantex. What is Zantex?
Xanax.
No, Zantec. Z-A-N-T-A-C.
Yeah.
Z-A-N-T-A-C.
Yeah. Is it to help you sleep or something? It should say. I
trying
can't
to
remember now. But, or is it for allergies or something like that?
Oh, it's for heartburn drug.
Heartburn. Okay. Heartburn for GERD,
Phone line.
gastric esophageal reflux
You
disorder.
got a phone.
We have a phone.
You have a call.
Oh.
Wow. I thought I was just having flashes in my eyes.
I just noticed it.
Good evening. You're on.
Hello, this is Carl from Ocean Avenue. I called you a couple of weeks ago when you guys were on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you guys one question. What do you guys see when you go through New London? What
That's a-
exactly do you see here? Can you tell me?
What do we do? What?
What do
What
we
you
see when we go
you
through New
drive
London?
through New
What do
London?
I see when I go through New London?
You
Yeah.
tell me.
I see a lot of emptiness, a lot of empty stores on Bank Street because I go every day. I see they're putting in these sidewalks. There's a lot of traffic. The lights in New London are not synchronized well at all. I don't see a heck of a lot because I don't shop in New London. Especially, there's nothing to shop for in New London.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm from New London. I've been here all my life. And you drive through town, and that's all you see is I'm not being negative or anything, but that's all you see is people walking around aimlessly, not wanting to work. Apparently, you go downtown, nothing's there to even go into. The stores are mostly empty.
Right.
Nothing's down there but tattoo parlors, restaurants. Some of them are decent, I guess, but there's nothing. And art shops, art galleries. Otherwise, it's a dump. You get down there, it's a disgrace. To me, it's a disgrace. I'm sorry.
No.
They say, they're going to do this, they're going to do that for New London.
It's Carl, right?
I don't see them doing shit for New London, to be
No,
honest.
Carl, I agree with you. And New London does not want to be known as, they want to be known as an art community. But what art community?
How much money are you going to make as an art community?
You're not going to be, that's right. All these, have you ever gone into any of these quote unquote stores that are, they say they're galleries? Did you ever look at the
I
price?
don't go down. The only time I get downtown is to pay my water bill or tax bill. Otherwise, I don't get down there at all anymore.
Right.
All right, I want
It's a dump.
to touch. I
It's
want
a-
to touch on
it-
that.
this- everything
That's all
is,
they're doing is redoing the upstairs of the stores for rental, and the rentals are outrageous. I wouldn't pay a nickel for those places. now.
everything in this whole area, the rentals are very, very high. Even a friend just
Crazy.
moved into the one of the apartments right here next to the station.
Right.
And it's $1,900 for a one bedroom.
With
Well,
nothing
yeah.
included.
They're nice apartments from what I gathered. Geez, how the hell can anybody afford it?
So you said you live in New London,
Yeah, I live on Ocean Avenue.
and okay, we're not far from each other.
No. Matter of fact, Dennis lives a couple blocks up from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm at the other end, but
You're down by the beaches there. I know you live.
yeah. Okay, you've been here all your life.
Yes.
Why? Why don't you move out?
Why? Because, you know, I love where I live. You know, the people that live around me aren't bad people. I mean, the neighborhood's not like it used to be years ago. It's kind of getting run down, and it's, you know, there's a lot of crime activity going on all over the place, which everybody knows, but they kind of sweep it under the table. They don't want a lot of people to know what's going on, but it's pretty obvious between the drugs and shootings and
Right.
whatever it may be going
I mean,
on.
my wife will not move out of the. I would sell the house if I could.
Right.
We have too many friends. I would love to live in Niantic.
Oh,
We have-
Niantic is great.
Yes.
That's one place I love to go out. You go out there, the people are having a good time.
Right.
It's clean. There's very rarely any craziness going on. I mean, once in a while you see something goes on out there.
Do you know why there's not that much craziness going on out there, or Mystic, or any places like that? Simple reason, because the people that live out there get involved.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing.
And
People in New London, they don't get
No,
involved.
they don't care.
Well, the whole problem is they see who's running the place and they figure, geez, why do anything? It's the same friggin' type of people get in the office and they do crap. They do nothing. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's for
Do you ever
sure.
talk to your neighbors about what you're saying? Like, why don't you change your attitude? Or
Oh, there's many a time I've run in the cat goulart at different places, and we've had some good talks. And you know, a couple of guys that used to be on the council that I know that are friends with me, we talk, and it's just, I think it's just the younger generation. They just want to keep voting Democrat, and the Democrats.
They've been voting Democrats.
Sorry.
You know as well, you know probably better than us, if you've been here your whole life, that they've been voting Democrat forever.
Oh, for years, for years. It's
And they
ridiculous.
don't know why. They just said, well, my mother and father voted for it.
Well, you know, I'm an independent, and I'll vote for Democrat. If they're a good person, they do a good job, I vote for them. But
Yeah,
lately, I've been voting for the Republicans. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I voted for a couple of Greens recently, maybe a couple of years ago, that I thought would do a better job than what we got in there now.
yeah, but what kind of job? When they say, oh, they're doing a good job, what do they think is a good job?
I don't see where they've done anything the last
No,
couple of councils. They've
no.
done nothing.
I mean,
Just
we've
vote
been
with
we've been
each other. They
talking.
don't even have a mind of their own vote for anything.
They don't have any common sense.
No, the only one that, like you were saying earlier, Eric, is John. I mean, John, but it's 1 against 6. I mean, what can he do? He has 6 morons against himself. He can't do anything, you know?
What do you see? The question he asked about what do you
see when you're in New London?
New
You're
London?
downtown New London. You're at the Mohegan Hotel.
Yeah,
What do you see when you walk out your door?
nothing.
Right,
They're
you want to know?
ridiculous.
You want to know what I see?
What?
I see two worlds. You got downtown in their cultural district new center that they created. You see more money going into that than you do on the outskirts of downtown, which, by the way, Bank Street really doesn't start until you hit the fire station.
Right,
And it ends when you get down by the train station.
right.
The money's being poured into there to create this arts and gallery stuff and
Right.
all this kind of crap. But,
Right.
like Carl, myself, you guys, when you drive through New London, you're only going to go through downtown about that much. So when you ask, what do you see what's outside of downtown.
Right.
And I've talked to them about at the council about this. Don't be forgetting the rest of us, because you're trying to make New London something that's fantastic, and you may live someplace where, you know, because the rest of the city is looking like shit. There's no other way to explain it.
My wife and I go through this all the time, Carl. We visit other places. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Portland, Maine, all these revitalized cities. And my wife keeps saying, why is New London like this? Why New London could be like this? Why? Look who lives in New London.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, you hate to say that, but it's true. Look who lives in New London. It's an urban town. It's a poor town.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to do the right thing. The problem was, and I told you years ago, and we've said it too many times, back in the 50s, maybe starting in 60s, they accepted federal dollars
Yep.
to get more people in here, and what did they bring in? They brought in
Trash.
urban crap.
Well, not only that, but you got to remember what they tore down to build them things.
Exactly.
Now I remember as a little kid where the big section there where they just built shit.
You got to start taking Prevagen.
Oh, that don't work. Gives you diarrhea. You don't want
Carl,
to take
thank you so much for calling.
Hey, I appreciate listening to you guys. You guys always have a good topic. I've missed you the last few weeks. I guess you haven't been on. But.
that. Well, there's
Thanks to you, we're going to keep doing this.
hang on a minute, Carl. Carl, hang on a minute. The reason you haven't seen us on is because the owner of this place is trying to save it. They're talking about taking it away.
Right, I
So
saw that.
So,
Commercials they run, or infomercials. Yeah.
so the owner, whose name is Frank, he's trying to get people, not just us producers, but he's trying to get people in the city to call their representatives and tell them not to take this away.
Right.
So if you can pass that word along, it'd be great. Otherwise, you'll probably just have to come over to our house every other week.
Come if you see if you see us, come up to us and tell us that you watch this the program. We'd appreciate that.
Who would we call though to talk to and bitch about it?
Call Nolan.
Oh, fuck. Come on, man. That guy's
No.
zero.
Hey, no matter what you.
The guy's a zero, man. I don't know how anybody voted for the guy. Just a rubber stamp. Don't even get me going.
That's
on
a
I
Saturday.
know, but you got to wait a minute. Listen,
He's a clown.
the one thing politicians fear the most is when they get calls of people saying they'll do everything they can to make sure you don't get reelected if you don't do something. That will scare them. Now you try Nolan. You go
Martha
to Martha
Marks?
Marks, that invisible lady that they have. I know. You go to the mayor. You go to the mayor, and then you go to Blumenthal, and you go to anybody else that represents Connecticut, and you tell them, you can't do this. If you do, I'm not voting for you again. Especially the people you did vote for,
Right.
because that's the only way it's going to change.
That's
all
you know
we got.
what? Also, call up. You ever watch Lee Elsie's show in the morning?
Yes.
No, I don't. No.
Call him up and tell him you saw the show and like you ought to get these people on, or you ought to watch the show sometimes. Lee and I know each other. I was on his show once, and I called in, and I don't get to call in that much anymore, rarely. But I see his brother at the gym all the time.
I know Lee. Basically, I'm not. He's a lot younger than me, but I'll tell you, he does a good job. He is a pretty good guy.
Thank you, Carl.
From what I've understood on the shows there, he has. He's a pretty good guy. So.
Join us. Hey, would you like to come on the show sometime?
Maybe somewhere down the road. Right now, I got some
Okay.
issues going on. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Oh.
So through that shit, But
Yeah. All right. Take good care.
I would love to come on. Like you said, I know where you live, Dennis. I could always stop by and talk to you.
Yeah, I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy in probably 10 streets around me that has a Trump flag on the front of his house.
I see it all the time when I go by there, and I laugh. I say, man, good for him. I say, hey, I'm going to vote for him again. If he gets out of this jam that he's in there, making a big fiasco about.
I think he's going to get out of it.
Who?
Trump.
Oh, of course he is.
So,
I hope so, because this guy we got in there is a joke.
oh, he's a moron.
They don't
Idiot.
even want to
I know
send him to
everybody
jail
laughs, he is, but
because they're
still
afraid.
there.
Yeah. All right. Take care,
Thanks,
Carl.
Carl.
All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Well, I think
You know, the other thing-
end the show.
I know. The other thing about that judge, the judge should be thrown
Oh, he should.
off the case. The judge should be
He's a
thrown
donator.
off the judgeship or whatever you call that. He's a moron.
Yeah, well, the whole thing he has against Trump is because of his daughter. Because the daughter has some big position in, she had it in Hillary's, she's a big Democrat. She gets money from Democrats. He's a big
Oh,
donator.
that's
to
right.
them.
That's right. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you
everybody.
thanks for listening for the ones who did. Call in.